Hey everybody, welcome back to the Integrative Health Coach Success Podcast, episode 364. If you want the three big takeaways, head on over to ihp.coach/364. Today we're going to be talking about, are you underselling yourself or charging too little? And the answer probably is yes, you are. And I want to share with you just a few examples here today and something that I think that you should be aware of in this industry. So in general, I fall into the same camp as every other health practitioner that says, I feel bad about charging more for my services because there are many people out there that can't afford it. So I totally get that. And that's literally where I've been my entire career. I'm going to share with you kind of how we get around that to make sure that everyone is able to be helped out. Like without a doubt that if someone is in need, we make sure that we get the information that they do need. But the reason why this came about is that we're about to start IHP Mastery. So if you don't know about IHP Mastery, this is where we help health coaches, IHPs, overcome the imposter syndrome, as well as helping them with the psychology of health coaching, helping themselves as well as family members and clients to overcome their biggest challenges in life, to be able to rewire their mind. And that doesn't happen necessarily overnight, but we also need this same work to be able to charge what we are worth. So this is so important. So it got me thinking, okay, IHP Mastery is coming about. This is this is a lot of what we begin to teach, helping people to rewire their mind, helping a client overcome their biggest challenges. Remember, people oftentimes know what to do. They have the information, so why don't they do it? Or why don't they stick with it? So it's something to think about. But the other thing that came up is that we have a new dog, and we go through the whole dog training and all of those different things, and a lot of it, we do ourselves. But there's a couple things we wanted to work on. So my wife looks for a local dog trainer, and the dog trainer is $1,800. $1,800 to train your dog. I don't know about you, but it seemed like a lot of money to me. And they charge basically $600 for the first 2 to 3 hour lesson where they, guarantee X, Y, and Z. And then after that, it's probably I think it's like $300 a lesson for the next, 4 or so, maybe 5. And that adds up to the $1,800 to $2,000 or whatever it was. So I'm thinking about it. I'm like, all right. But yeah, they're helping you overcome whatever challenge it is that you have, right? So you're not paying the money for the dog trainer, you're paying for the results. And that's a really big, important thing you want to look at. Another thing that I was thinking is this, many people go to a hair salon. Now, we're not talking about the entire world, but just keep in mind, you're not looking to work with the entire world. You're looking to work with a subset of individuals who are able to afford your services and also see the value. So think about all the different hair salons. Think about all the people who pay a couple $100 to $400 or $500 every month for a haircut and color and all the things that go into that, right? Well, that's $300, $400, $500 every single month to get their hair done. Not even to be able to overcome some of their biggest health challenges. So I want you to start to think about this. Are you underselling yourself or not charging enough for your value? Here's another one. I used to go to a gym in Boston. So one is I used to work at a gym way back in the day in 2000, right around 2001. And it was a sports club A, and they were charging $200 a month. Nobody charged $200 a month back in the year 2000. Well, luxury health club, next level, services, all those things, $200 a month. And then if you wanted your own locker, it was $275 or $300. All right. And then me, when I could eventually afford it, I was paying $250 a month to go to Equinox Gym in Boston. Was it worth $250? I don't know. I don't know. They can charge it. And if someone's willing to pay it, then people pay it. And they had thousands of members, right? So that's another example, but that's just a gym membership, not even one-on-one service. If you want to do personal training, all right, back in my day, I was personal training in the late 90s and all in the early 2000s. We were charging anywhere between $89 and $150, right? A lot of personal trainers today, they're charging between $150 and $500 per appointment. Depends on the personal trainer, depends on what you get. But again, look at that. Now, also keep in mind, back when I had my studio in the early 2000s as well, I had it for a long time, so don't get me wrong, I had it for, more than a decade, right? And so when we look at it, on average, our clients were paying a little over $700 per month for one-on-one personal training. So we offered $356 packages, $720 packages, and then it was like 1,036, like somewhere around there, I believe. And so we had hundreds of clients paying that amount, right? To be able to work with a personal trainer, come in, the accountability, the motivation, and obviously the personalized programming. So again, there's a point to all of this. I want you to kind of listen kind of all to the what people are charging. So we'll also look at this. Dog walker. So when my wife and I had 2 young kids in the house, I was working 1 million hours a week, and I was gone before basically everybody woke up. And then I was basically back at dinner time. And so we had a dog walker come, especially when our little ones were just born or right afterwards. And it was $20 a day. No big deal. But what is that per month? Well, it's anywhere between $400 and $600 a month, right, for a dog walker. And so you say, okay, I'm paying that $400, $500 a month for a dog walker. All right. I wanted to share with you now that IHPs out there, many of them well qualified, beyond well qualified, are afraid to charge $180 per month, basically for a 50, 60-minute call, plus once a week email check-ins for 3 to 4 months. And they don't feel even comfortable charging $180. When I say most should be charging $290 to start, right? So you'd start at $290. I think most people will eventually and should get to $490 a month for at least 3 months for that package. That's fair. It is fair because you look at it, it's 1 hour for the appointment. You're probably doing a half hour to 1 hour prep for if there's a lab for that call. And you're going to be doing anywhere between 30 and 60 minutes for your follow-up emails. So it's really like $500. Let's say the $300 package, the $290, right? Well, you're getting paid essentially then $100 per hour. That's very fair for your time. If it's $500 you're charging for the 1 hour prep, 1 hour call, and 1 hour of email support over the course of a month, that's 3 hours divided by 500. I don't know the math on that. What is the math on that? 175 or so? I don't know. Maybe it's around 170, but that's what you're making essentially per hour. If it's 150, that's 450, somewhere around there. And so when we look at that, you want to say this is a fair going rate for what you offer, especially if you're able to read at-home lab tests. I mean, that's an incredible value. And if you're like, I just don't know yet, remember, the hairstylist, and they're totally allowed to, and they can charge whatever they want. They're charging what you're charging, $500. Is what you're providing as valuable as cutting someone's hair and coloring someone's hair? I think so, right? What about the dog walker? I think the dog walkers provide a great service, but are you more skilled in a particular area? I think so. I think less people could do your job, right? Which makes it that much more invaluable. Same with, I also wrote this down. We had many people in our wellness center getting a massage once a week. $120, $150 once a week. That's $600 a month, $500, $600 a month, right? Massage is amazing. It is a luxury. Is getting to know your body, your deficiencies and toxicity even more valuable? To me, it is, especially if you're adding a lab test to your package. And go back to previous shows. We'll link up how to add at-home lab testing to your package to make it even more valuable, right? I mean, all of these things, I could go on and on with the examples, but what you are doing is as valuable, if not 10x more valuable than a lot of things that people pay for every day. The $250 gym membership. Remember, these are the people that are going to be signing up for your services anyway. The last thing I want to share with you is this, and then I'll talk about basically thinking about pricing. And I've shared this in the past, but I want to reiterate it, is that I was looking into my own pricing because I have a very high level concierge practice for myself. And I see one new client per week. That's it. I do follow-ups, but I see one new person per week. And it's a deep dive. I do a 2 to 3 hour prep for that call, all their labs they've done in the last 12 months. I look at blood work. I look at everything, right? For my practice, this is just what I do. And then I do a 3 hour call. It's a full 1 hour intake. It's 1 hour to go through all their calls. Then it's 30 minutes to go through their wellness plan. And then it's a 30-minute Q&A at the end to make sure that they're all settled in. And then they get 30 days follow-up email. And in that practice, we charge anywhere between $2,500 to $10,000. For that service. Now, the $10,000 one comes with once a month follow-up with one of my head health coaches for a 1 hour call and email follow-up. But remember, this is an expensive service. Many of my colleagues start at $30,000 per appointment or for 6 months. That is what they're charging right now. There are multiple people out there charging $30,000 for one appointment. There is one person that I know charging $45,000 for a 1-hour genetic-based consultation. I'm being serious. There are multiple people out there, health influencers, health practitioners charging $100,000 to $150,000 per year for monthly coaching. There's one concierge doctor that I know, there's multiple out there, but there's one specifically that you know who charges $250,000 a year for his private practice. So what I'm trying to share with you is this is not one-offs. So if you think that $250,000 a year is a lot, I don't disagree with you. That's a lot of money, right? But how many people is this person looking to work with? I don't know, 10, 20, 50? But think about that. Well, for 10, that's 2.5 million. For 20, that's 5 million. Like, how many people does this person need to work with? Not that many, right? So out of the 3 billion people online, who do they need to work with? 10? Right? Like, I mean, like, or whatever, maybe, I don't know, you'd say 4, right? Like any number would be a great number at $250,000 per client. So think about it. You don't need to work with 1 million people. All you're looking to do is, and most health coaches, when you just do I always call it like the health coaching math or the practitioner math, is like, all right, let's say you're working with 10 people a week. All right, that's 40 a month, and you get 4 weeks off per year. That's just basically how the math works out. So 40, and just multiply it by any number that you're looking for, like $490 a month, right? It's not a lot to charge. So now let's just use even number, round number, 500. All right, so now you're at $20,000 per month. 10 hours a week of clients times 4, 40 clients a month, times 500, 490, but you're going to make other commissions, whatever. $20,000 a month times 12, $240,000, right? Like, so what we want to understand is that making a career in the health coaching industry or massage, chiropractic, acupuncture, anything in the health-based industry, it's an amazing industry to be in. You can make a great living. Your job is to get great at what you do. Provide exceptional service, which most people just don't do. Like, they don't follow up. They don't really care about their clients. You should do that, right? You need to do that. We teach that inside of IHP. Our motto is literally heal yourself, heal others. Like, we are about healing the world. We want to put a health coach in every home. That is our goal. Now, when you truly provide great service and you know your stuff, you've got certified through IHP if that's what you've done, or whatever your profession is, acupuncture, et cetera, and so you provide a great service. You truly care. Even if a person's struggling, if they know you care, they're going to stick with you. They know that you care. You get them great results. They provide referrals. So I've always shared with you in these previous shows, and you get actually the curated shows after you pass level 1 of IHP in our business course. And you build out. That's what you do. You start with 5 clients. Those 5 clients on average refer 1 person. Great. So now you continue to work with those 5 clients. Maybe you only do a once a month follow-up, or once a quarter follow-up after they do their first 4 to 6 months with you. No problem. And then you just start to build out from there. So those 5 clients, great. Now you see them 4 times a year, every quarter. You put them on a quarterly, great. And then after that, you've got 5 referrals from them. Great. You do a great job. You get another 5 referrals. Now remember, some people will refer you no one, but there will be one client who refers you 4 to 5 people, right? So it averages out there. And there's a previous show we did on IHP, because I can't talk about it here today, but we literally go through the process of growing out your client base. And I think that these things are so important to understand. Last thing I want to share with you is this, is you're probably thinking to yourself, well, not everybody can afford my service and I want it to be fair. I totally get that. So you're going to have to decide what you want to do. Do you want to earn more as a coach? Now, if you don't and you don't care about that, that's fantastic. I have no issue with that. And that's great. That's your decision. So you can continue to charge, $99 per appointment or $180 per appointment, whatever you want to do. And that's totally fair and totally fine. What I've decided to do, and most practitioners do, is you can increase your rates as you feel appropriate, okay? Based on value, based on your own education. You're investing in yourself, right? You're investing in maybe IHP level 3, IHP mastery. You're doing a yoga certification, esthetician certification. You're doing a personal trainer, whatever it might be. You're investing in yourself, right? And so is it not okay then to charge a little bit more? Most personal trainers, most massage therapists, they do the same. They've invested in themselves, and so they charge a little bit more because they can give more. That's the thing. And so I went like this. I went $180 per month. Right? And I did typically 4 payments. And so then after that, I eventually went from $180 to $290. And because my practice was getting busier. But when I went to 290, I still had a $180 package. And they met with my then lead health coach. So my lead integrative health practitioner. So I always had that available. When I went to $490 per appointment, I still had a $180 package. And the $180 package was with my lead health coach. And I could pay them really well. And I still earned on that as well. So remember, as you get busier and you go to $290 or $490 or $5,000 for a package, I mean, literally some of our best IHPs, right? Top IHPs, they charge $5,000 for a 6-month package. It's very fair. They include the big 5, so they're paying for that, but then they get compensated very well on that. And they have great clients, and those clients continue on with them. So I just want to share with you, there are multiple ways to do this. And nobody ever has to get left behind. I provide a free daily podcast every day, all free information. I provide the Rain Barrel Effect completely free. Literally, you just pay for shipping. So I try to do all the things for free. And then I have a lower cost now, $290 to work with a health coach on my team. Or you can work with one of my top health coaches. That's a couple $1,000s. Or you can work with me, which is a little bit more expensive. So there's all different levels that you can begin to build out. Now, I've been doing this, of course, for a long time. But all you need to do is just like I did, get comfortable moving up. So when I was a personal trainer, I mean, back in the day, in the year 2000, I was charging $40 an appointment, right? Way back in the day. That's what I charged. Okay. Then eventually it went to around $60. Then it went to $79 when I first opened my studio. Then it went to $89. Then I started to charge $120. I remember that. That was a huge jump for me. So keep in mind, you can work up as you feel comfortable and also as you start to get more and more clients. One other thing I just want to share with you is that I also grandfathered some clients in. So as I went to $490 a month or so, the clients who've been with me a while, I kept them at $290. Right? And I was allowed to do that because you can do whatever you want because it's your practice. Don't let anybody tell you that you're charging too much, you're charging too little. You charge whatever you feel is comfortable for you. So hopefully today's show was helpful. I would love to hear your feedback. Really, like this podcast is about our community and really the greater health and wellness-based industry in general. So thank you so much. Looking forward to a huge year with all of you. And like I said, we thank you. We appreciate you for being a part of this movement. Take care.